And thank you for joining us for this press conference with Proteas Assistant Coach Enoch Nkwe. As usual, please indicate in the chat panel who would like to go first, and then we'll take it from there. Khalid?
Hello. Can
Hi.
you hear me? Yeah, hi. You think that the position that now we see South Africa at 127, 123, 127, you think that tomorrow South Africa are going to win the match and level the series at, as George Linder said last night, that they are capable of chasing 370?
Yeah, look, I mean, it is something that we've spoken about, especially coming to this series in Pakistan, that every opportunity that we get must always look to win. So, I mean, after the first test, we had to obviously review, look at in terms of where we are as a unit and areas that we need to improve on. And if you look at into this test match, we've actually brought ourselves nicely into the game, and we believe that we can actually win this game. So that's the mindset we're just gonna keep going ahead with, and hopefully Rassi and Makram obviously carry on with the partnership that they have now and make it as big as possible.
Fidos, Kuliso, and Telford.
Hi, Enoch. What have you seen that is different about the way the batsmen are approaching this innings compared to how they've batted previously?
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of belief, just backing themselves a bit more, freeing themselves up, and just we've done a lot of work in terms of just clearing their minds and play within their own character. So. And we've seen glimpses of that from Quinton, who actually opened up almost that sort of a mindset, and it was actually good to see, refreshing as well. And coming into this innings, I mean, we want to win this, and we want to build strong, big partnerships. And the approach that we actually decided on was just encourage the guys just to be themselves and just play. When the opportunity is there to speed up the game, do that. And if it's not there, we need to absorb the pressure as well as we can. But I mean, this two have been fantastic so far. So hopefully that carries on tomorrow morning.
Kuliso, Telford, followed by Ken.
Thanks, Pogazi. Hi, Enoch. So we've pretty much been here with these two in as far as building a big-ish partnership is concerned. From what happened in the last match, and if you're looking at what's happening now, do you see any difference in terms of maybe approach or mentality from these two particular players? And do you think maybe there won't be another collapse as we saw in the last match, not to be negative?
Yeah, look, those are the areas that we actually addressed straight after the game, a day later. Like I said, just identifying small little areas from a mental point of view that we can actually play those situations a lot better. I mean, if you really recall the last test match, right at the close of play, we just lowered our intensity where, that was an area that we looked at and we addressed it very well. And it's good to see the guys actually responding the same to that were in that situation, and now actually taking the full responsibility to ensure the team doesn't fall into that situation that we found ourselves in previously. So yeah. So hopefully, I mean, the same two now can actually, build on this partnership because that's going to be key. We know that in the sub, wicket can actually fall in clusters, and that's something we're trying to avoid. Even if we lose a wicket, the guys are ready for the challenge. They've embraced it, and the next person in, they just need to make sure that they give themselves a chance to ensure that they build another partnership. But if opportunity given, we need to actually pound on it for as long as possible.
Telford.
How's it, Enoch? South Africa's batting has been pretty fragile for quite a while now. Is there a way to use those experiences of failure, essentially, to as a motivation in this innings? Just to look at those mistakes that were made and try and use that to go forward and put up better performance this time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the betting unit has taken full responsibility. They know that, they haven't done as well as they wanted to. And like I said, it's certain areas that we did address, and we wanted to actually score more hundreds. So hopefully tomorrow we can have 100 or 2 if all goes well. And yes, every opportunity, it is an opportunity for us to become to play better as a betting unit and to keep actually moving forward. So yeah, and hopefully tomorrow it is a day where we can look to actually take a step forward as a betting unit, and especially if these two can make it as big as possible. I think that will also put give us a lot of confidence as a betting unit into future series. But I mean, the wicket is actually playing quite well, and the guys just need to apply themselves as much as possible. And look, I mean, the likes of Temba in the first innings, he showed the type of character, and it's good to also see Makram, and it's good to also see Rassi stepping up to the plate. So like I said, we just gotta use this opportunity to build on in terms of the direction we're going as a test team.
Ken, followed by Sadiq.
Thanks, Ibakati. Hi, Enoch. You mentioned lowering the intensity. The bowlers have generally done a pretty good job, and the guys were outstanding in the field in the first innings, I thought. But a couple of times, I think the third day in the first test, and then again today, second session, the guys have come out and just had a real stinker of a session. I mean, today, realistically, South Africa could have been chasing less than 300, but then a really bad session. What is the cause of that, and what's being done to address those really bad patches?
Yeah, look, in general, I think in this test match, bowlers have actually done well. Yes, there are times where we've let ourselves down as a bowling unit, but I mean, it's a growing group of players. We believe in terms of where we were from the first test to where we are, and we just got to build on that. It's going to take some time, so we got to be patient with that process, and you can see they are getting better in they've shown small glimpses. I mean, Anas, yes, it didn't start off as well, but he actually managed to pull it back. I mean, we saw a spell from KG yesterday, and we've seen now George Linder taking a fifer. He's been superb, and good support also from Keshav. So I mean, it is going to take some time, and some of them, it is really the first great opportunity for them in the subcontinent. Like I said, we got to be patient with the process, and we're working on a simple formula for them to ensure that we become a strong force in world cricket from a bowling front, and that will take some time.
Sadiq, followed by Kanyiso and Lungani.
Hi, you mentioned about application. I mean, looking at the approach this time around, especially today against the spinners, is that something that you've talked about possibly negating the likes of Noman Ali and Yasser Shah, because the approach seemed to be a lot more aggressive, a lot more attacking today?
Yeah, look, one thing we really encourage is just the guys to be themselves, to free their minds, be very clear in terms of their game plans, and obviously the two guys will make a decision out there in terms of how they tackle every bowler. And if there is opportunity, we just got to make sure that we're ready to pound on it. I mean, we've noticed that obviously there have been a couple of loose balls. We've got to make sure that we capitalize on those loose balls, but also in terms of our intensity in general, from a mental point of view, that we're ready, because we know the opposition, they're very good, they can apply a lot of pressure, but we just got to make sure in small little windows, we're also able to transfer the pressure to them and see how they respond. And the two have really shown it with a very strong body language at the crease and wanting. I mean, the guys are hungry, they want to do well, they want to get the team over the line and actually win this test match. So with that self-motivation, it actually helps. But our job is to help the guys really mentally to be clear in terms of their processes and really back that 100%.
Kanyiso, followed by Lungani.
Good afternoon, good evening, Enoch. I hope you are well. I know that you guys may not have been watching the West Indies Bangladesh test, but how much inspiration would the team take from that, considering that West Indies have just pulled off highest successful chase in Asia, coupled by the fact that they were behind for the better part of the game until they actually, before Kyle Mayers and Nkrumah Bonner put together a very good partnership?
Yeah, look, to be honest, we haven't been really following that. I mean, we've been really focusing on our game. We understand that we need to really stay connected in terms of what we're looking to achieve. So I'm sure tonight, when we watch some highlights or go through cricket info or something, the guys maybe might find some sort of a motivation. But we have enough cricketers in our change room. We have enough coaches and management team that really they've been role models, and they're really encouraging the guys and really finding every way possible to ensure the guys are well connected and they stay motivated in terms of this chase. Every individual understands how important it is for us to chase it down, because we understand that our backs have been up against the walls, and this is a great opportunity for us to close the series for the summer.
Bayate.
Enoch, just a question in terms of, obviously a two-test series doesn't really give you much time to get into things, and some of your players look like they're only just starting to really start playing their best cricket in this. But given the lessons that you learned in the past 9 days, so to speak, how much would this mean to be able to salvage this series, given the hopeless position you were in, and just also maybe a touch on the experience of being in Pakistan for the first time for South Africa in 14 years or so. What has that experience been like for the team, even in the current conditions?
Look, it's been fantastic. In every aspect, from a security point of view, from accommodation, we've been very happy. We've been well looked after, so we can't complain on that front. And the facilities, have been there for us to test ourselves and to ensure that we're well prepared. So we've been very happy in that space. It just obviously we did understand that it might take a bit of time, for us to get going. And understanding that some of the guys, obviously, it is their first time coming to the subcon, especially in Pakistan, not knowing at this time of the year, in winter time, not being 100% sure how the wicket is going to play compared to a couple of seasons ago. So I just thought into this test match, just mentally, the guys were much better. I think they took a lot from the first test, and it did hurt. It hurt a lot of guys because there were opportunities we thought we could have actually played them out a lot better. But in this test match, obviously, we have improved by 5, which is actually showing. Yes, it is a pity that is only a 2-match test series, but we're gonna actually take a lot from this. We still have a T20 series coming up, and later in the season in April, Pakistan is coming to us. So it is important that we win this test match. We take a lot of confidence towards the end of the season, and it can only do us good as a unit, because we still have a lot of cricket for the rest of the year.
Final 2 questions, Malik followed by, Daniel followed by Malik.
Hi, I just wanted to know, given that now South Africa have a solid base to chase what is quite a large total, South Africa aren't perhaps quite as famous for keeping their calm when situations get really tight. Have you discussed maybe how you continue to approach the game as it goes through to maybe the final session tomorrow, and whether the approach changes once the runs start coming down below 50, 40, potentially, if it gets that tight?
Yeah, look, we've already spoken about making sure that we keep up the intensity. We stay in the moment, because that's going to be important. That we don't get carried away. We don't look in the future what's possibly could happen. If the opportunities present itself for us to score, we do that, and if the opportunity is there for us to absorb the pressure, we got to do that, like I said before. So we got to make sure that we try and control every ball as much as possible. We don't look too far ahead. I mean, obviously tonight we recover, we try and recover as much as possible to ensure that tomorrow morning we get to the ground, we clear in terms of how we need to actually prepare, to ensure by the start of play, the two guys are ready, and obviously the rest of the Betty lineup, because a lot can happen. The game could turn. Hopefully it turn in our way, and then we pound on that opportunity to take it over the line. Like I said, if we're not gonna go in with an approach to try and wait for 5 o'clock or anything. We're gonna play. We're gonna continue to play within our own character as a team, as individuals, and let's see how far we get to, and hopefully we get over the line.
Last question here. Thank you so much. So Pakistan's journey to victory, which looked pretty smooth a couple of hours ago, now seems to have hurdles, right? And with day 5 tomorrow, and with the pitch changing, what would be your approach? Would you want to go for an all-out aggressive approach, or would you want to go with a defensive approach, given that you've got a solid partnership at hand? I know I understand the question is similar to that of Daniel's, but I want to understand a broader approach for throughout the day, given the change in the pitch as well, given that it's day 5.
Yeah, look, I mean, they're going to come out looking for wickets to try and break the partnership. We do understand that. We just got to make sure that we're ready for that challenge. And actually, we enjoy the challenge. We know that it might not be easy for us to score, but when the opportunity is presented in small windows for us to score, we do that. So we're going to be as patient, but also play within our own character. I mean, like I said, we've encouraged the guys to really play, and they've shown it now. And hopefully they stay in the same mindset, which will continue to encourage, and we can actually form another massive partnership, because that's going to be important. If we don't give ourselves a chance to set up massive partnerships, we're going to find ourselves on the back foot. So the focus is really going to be building on those partnerships, because that can actually be the difference at the end of the day. Just like the opposition, I mean, the opposition showed us the importance of partnerships. Whether it's a 80-run partnership or a massive 150-run partnership, they really apply themselves, and those are some of the learnings we can take from them. But obviously, we gotta play within our own character, our own way that we actually understand. As long as we don't play out of our own character, and we remain in control of our own processes, then I think we can really get over the line.